Southeast Turkey is one of the most underrated regions in the country, and today I'm taking you there. From Urfa's ancient history to Mardin's postcard streets and Gaziantep's world-famous food scene, this region is packed with culture, flavors, and unforgettable landscapes. I'll show you what to eat, what to visit, and how to get there. So if you're planning a trip to Turkey beyond the usual spots, you're going to love this. Gaziantep is one of the biggest cities of the southeastern Anatolia region of Turkey, with over 2 million inhabitants, 4 universities, historical heritages, and of course, unique cuisine. Gaziantep is one of the most popular places in southeastern Anatolia. Throughout the history, Gaziantep has always been a settlement from the ancient eras. Meantime, it has been a city of Hittites, Assyrians, Persians, Alexander the Great, Roman, Islamic Arab empires, and Islamic Turkish empires. Gaziantep used to be known as Ayintap or Ainitap throughout history, but it was called as Antep or Entap among the citizens. After the Turkish War of Independence, Antep was given the adjective of Gazi, which means veteran soldier, and officially became Gaziantep. Gaziantep has no seasonal attraction for tourists. Most of the time, Gaziantep is visited for its cuisine. Therefore, you can visit the city whenever you want. We came here in December and the weather isn't as cold as I was expecting. There are direct flights from Istanbul that take approximately an hour and a half. We flew with Anadolu Jet from Sabiha Gökçen Airport, located on the Asian side of the city. Gaziantep Airport is located 20 kilometers away from the city center. However, you can find buses, shuttles, cabs to go to the city center. If you look for a more comfortable option, you can either rent a car or call for an airport transfer. We decided to take the bus outside the terminal with Hababus Company to the center and took approximately 25 minutes. We only paid 120 Turkish liras per person. We recommend staying in the city center as most of the main attractions are easily accessible on foot. We stayed in a very small hotel that offered excellent value, especially for its convenient location, making it a great option for a one-night stay.
Many people also wonder how safe is it to travel to this region of Türkiye. Let me tell you that it is safe. At least we have been walking around many streets here, especially in the city center, and it is quite safe. Many people wonder about this, especially because this area, this region of Türkiye, which is southeast Türkiye, and especially Gaziantep, it is less than 100 kilometers away from the border of Syria. So that is why a lot of people are unsure if they should visit this region or not. But you don't have to worry. In fact, like, the locals are very nice. You don't have to worry about that. Just try to have the same precautions as you would in any other place around the world. But other than that, it's quite safe. Also, if you're wondering about the language, not a lot of people here can speak English. So maybe you might feel like, okay, how can I travel there if they don't speak English and I don't speak the local language, which is Turkish? Well, there are many translating apps that you can use nowadays to travel around the world. But if you don't want to deal with that, you can always hire also tours. There are also group tours or private tours that you can choose from. And in case that you're interested in exploring this region of Türkiye with us, you can do it through remindertour.com, to which I will be leaving the link in the description box and pinned comment. And it's time to start our day just like a local. Here in Gaziantep, in case that you didn't know, what they have for breakfast is something very interesting and very unique, something that maybe most of us wouldn't even imagine. So they have a soup, and this soup is called beyran. And it is originated here in Gaziantep, and its ingredients and everything smells so good. Its ingredients consist of lamb cheek and also neck. Also, they put rice, and other ingredients also include black pepper, salt, and garlic. So basically here, the locals, they don't call this just a soup. For them, it is also a meal, because as I just mentioned, it has a lot of ingredients that it's already very nutritious. This specific place is opening very early in the morning. It opens at 5 o'clock. So as you can see from the images, the place is very crowded. We got here by 9:30 and it is full of locals. So these are precisely the type of places I love every time I visit another province in Turkey. Now let's check about the soup. Look at this, look at this. It smells so good. It smells just beautiful. I wish you could smell it here, look. So let's try it out. So let's start by putting some lemon to enhance the flavor. I really want to share something. I really like this because in Mexico, those of you who are from Mexico or who have visited Mexico, we have something called barbacoa or birria. And this one has a very similar flavor. So I already love it because it already sent me directly to my country. So this is 10 out of 10. Perfect. Our next stop is, of course, a traditional menengiç coffee. And yes, if you're wondering what type of coffee is this, let me explain to you. Menengiç coffee is a very traditional hot beverage in Kurdish and also Turkish cuisine. And this one is made out from pistachio and also terebinth tree. And for those of you who love coffee, but for some reason you cannot drink it anymore, let me tell you that this option is delicious, plus is caffeine free. In Türkiye, this coffee is mainly produced in areas like Diyarbakır, Adıyaman, Batman, and also it's a delicacy and very traditional in Gaziantep. Menengiç coffee is also produced naturally from the menengiç tree, which is called Pistacia terebenthus in Latin, and it grows naturally in the mountainous rural areas of the Mediterranean, southeastern Anatolia region, and central Anatolia regions in Turkey without being cultivated. As you can see, it was served in this beautiful cup, very traditional, and I just love this one. Yeah, delicious. So also if you're wondering what's the taste like, this is more milky. It tastes like pistachio, but nothing like coffee. So don't expect it to have a coffee flavor. However, it is called also as coffee.
And before we continue with the video, let me introduce you to Nomad eSIM, my favorite way to stay connected while traveling abroad, completely hassle-free. It's super affordable, works in over 200 destinations, and yes, including Türkiye, and even offers regional plans. All you have to do is download the app, choose a plan, and activate it for instant internet as soon as you land. Just make sure your phone is unlocked and supports eSIMs. And here's a bonus. Use my code for $5 off your first purchase and explore with peace of mind. Oh, and if you have heard that eSIMs don't work in Turkey after the ban, here's the secret they don't tell you. Just buy, install, and activate your eSIM before your trip, and you'll have instant data the moment you arrive. We have tested it and it works perfectly. This is a market that has 500 years of history, and here we can find handmade copper products. And during the Ottoman era or the Ottoman Empire, this bazaar was the commercial center of the area. In present times, we can find shops selling a little bit of everything. Gaziantep Castle, perched on a 25-meter high hill in the city center, is one of Turkey's best preserved castles. While its exact origins are unclear, archaeological findings suggest the site was used for surveillance during the Roman period before being expanded into a castle. It was later rebuilt in its current form during the 6th century under the Byzantine Emperor Justinian. Even though currently is closed to restoration, be sure to visit it if it reopens during your trip to Gaziantep. This museum is the most popular in Gaziantep and is a time capsule of ancient Roman art. The museum is one of the largest mosaic museums in the world and is home to some of the world's most significant mosaics in terms of subject matter, color, three-dimensional designs, and advanced techniques. The mosaics shed light on the architecture, way of life, flora and fauna of the period they were made. One of the symbols of this museum is the mosaic known as the Gypsy Girl mosaic. A very special technique was used in the mosaic in order to make her eyes more realistic. This technique was used by great painters as well, and one of the best examples is the Mona Lisa of Da Vinci. The museum also showcases Roman-era sculptures, columns, and fountains. This local bazaar in the heart of Gaziantep is the ultimate spot to explore, indulge in the local delicacies, and savor the city's famous sweets. And of course, that's exactly why we are here.
I was curious about something that I keep seeing here in the bazaar. So as you can see, I got these little like candies, and these are very famous here in Antep or Gaziantep. So these are called Antep muskası, and they are made of starch and also powdered sugar, and they are filled with pistachio. Let's remember that the region and where Gaziantep is very famous for the pistachios. So the best pistachios in Turkey come from this part of the country. The texture is a bit hard, it's a bit chewy as well, but the feeling where the pistachio is, it's delicious. At least for me, because I'm a pistachio fan. I love pistachio, so that is why I really like this. So if you have opportunity and you see it around when you are here, give it a try. Now we are going to have our next meal, and this is going to be like our lunch. We are at a very famous place here in Gaziantep. This restaurant, it is very close to Seuhma Museum. So if you visit that museum, which of course is a must when you visit Gaziantep, I recommend you coming here. And here we will try two specialties of Gaziantep, kuşleme and simit kebabı. I want to show you also some extra things that they brought to our table, and these are not for extra price. These are already included in the menu. So as you can see, here we have a traditional salad of the region. We have fındık lahmacun, which this lahmacun tend to be much smaller than the traditional one, like the regular one, and also some pita bread. So now we have two dishes, kuşleme and simit kebabı. The kuşleme consists only in lamb meat, and the part of the animal they are using is the back part. And also they just season it with different spices and with pepper. The other one, when it comes to the simit kebabı, is a mix of two meats, beef and lamb, with spices and pepper as well. And why is it called simit kebab? Actually, in fact, I thought, silly me, I was thinking that they were gonna put some simit on it, but in fact the name comes because of the shape they give while cooking it. So they give the round shape, like a simit shape. So that is why its name comes from there. Now, the last thing that I would love to share about this place is that after we finish eating, we really like the food. To be honest, the flavor is very good. Also, the quality of the meat, it's excellent. And the way they cook it also, you cannot feel a chewy meat. Everything is soft, is juicy. Everything is just on point. So yeah, it's a bit expensive comparing to the portions, but to be honest, the flavor is really good. And my favorite part of the video has finally arrived. And if you have seen my videos for a long time, you know that I'm a big fan of Turkish desserts. And since we are in Antep, one of the best places, or I would say probably the best place in Turkey to try baklava, that will be here in Gaziantep. Let's remember once again that Gaziantep is where the pistachio comes from, and the quality is just excellent. So that is why you have to try the baklava here in Gaziantep. This is for the sounds. This is so good. Our next delicacy of this tour will be a nohut wrap, also known in Turkish as nohut durum. So as you can see, as the name says it already, this is a durum or a wrap filled with chickpeas, and it has a lot of vegetables as well and the pita bread. So this is very famous and very popular here in Gaziantep, so we wanted to try it as well. Look at this pepper. Now we are going to try another amazing dessert that you have to try when you are in Antep, and this is one of the best ones. This one is called katmer, and we are at one of the best places here in Gaziantep where you can try it. This is very famous, very popular, and as you can see, the portions are huge. So even this one, you can share it among 2 or 3 people. For one, it will be way too much. In our case, we are 3 people, so we are going to share all of this. And this is very popular. It is just filled with pistachio, and it just looks amazing. Look, as you can see here, it's so warm, it's so tasty.
We are driving from Gaziantep to Urfa, which takes approximately 2 hours. However, if you prefer to fly from Istanbul, that is also an option. There are direct flights from both airports in Istanbul to Şanlıurfa Airport, which is located 34 kilometers from the city center. However, if you'd like to book a private tour, you can check out our tour options at remindertour.com. Şanlıurfa is a city in the historical Mesopotamian region, located in southeastern Anatolia, Türkiye. It is bordered by Mardin to the east, Gaziantep to the west, Adıyaman to the north, Diyarbakır to the northeast, and Syria to the south. As the 7th largest city in Türkiye, Şanlıurfa has a population of 2.2 million and stands out as one of the country's most significant cities due to its rich history and cultural diversity. Having been home to numerous civilizations throughout history, Şanlıurfa is often called the ground zero of history because it hosts Göbekli Tepe, one of the world's oldest known temple sites, dating back 12,000 years. It is also known as the City of Prophets, as it is believed to be the birthplace of Prophet Abraham. The city is a melting pot of different ethnic groups and religions. Turks, Kurds, Arabs, and Assyrians contribute to its diverse social fabric. While Turkish is the official language, many residents also speak Arabic or Kurdish. The city has had different names throughout history. Then it became known as Urfa. However, in 1984, the Turkish Grand National Assembly passed an act granting it the title Şanlı, meaning glorious, in recognition of its role in the Turkish War of Independence in the 1920s. Şanlıurfa is a great destination to visit year-round, but the best time depends on your preferred weather. Temperatures in the city vary significantly by season. If you visit in spring or fall, you'll enjoy a much more pleasant and comfortable climate, ideal for exploring outdoor attractions and wandering through the city's streets. Summer brings intense heat, with temperatures often reaching 40 to 45 degrees Celsius. However, the good news, at least for me, is that it's a dry heat rather than humid. Winter can be chilly and rainy, with temperatures ranging from 13 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius. We visited in early December, and while it was cool, the weather was still enjoyable. We recommend staying in the city center, as it allows you to explore the main attractions on foot and enjoy a wide variety of local restaurants serving delicious regional cuisine. We spent 2 nights at Nahrin Hotel and Art, a beautiful traditionally styled hotel in the heart of Urfa. The rooms are spacious, but the best part is how impeccably clean they are. After checking into our hotel, we're kicking off our first day of exploring this amazing place. We're starting with the attractions in the city center, which, by the way, are just a 5-minute walk from our accommodation. The city has one of the most authentic bazaar areas in Türkiye, and this place is heavily visited by locals, also tourists. With the unique smell of this place, you can shop anything comes to mind from handmade leatherworks to antiques. There are tea shops for you to enjoy as well. This necropolis is found just across the street from the Archaeology and Mosaic Museum. It is believed to have been built between the 3rd and 4th centuries AD and was declared an archaeological site in 2012. The site has unearthed 133 rock tombs of the Edessa Kingdom. This area is known for its diverse cave structures, including Roman tombs, reliefs, and mosaics. The Şanlıurfa Castle is situated on a hill in the city center. It is estimated that the castle was constructed on Neolithic ruins, dating back to 10,000 BC. Although the foundations of the castle were laid in ancient times, the present ruins were built between 812 and 814 during the Abbasid period. The castle played an important role during the Crusades and was repaired during the Ottoman period. There is no access to the inner part of the castle due to restoration works, but you can still go up and enjoy the wonderful views of the city center. This place is in the heart of the city and it's one of the most important tourist attractions. Balıklıgöl is also known as the Pool of Abraham, is 150-meter long, 492-foot long, and the pond itself and the hundreds of carp fish in it are of great religious importance and are considered sacred. It attracts both pilgrims and tourists from all around the world. This sacred pool is believed to be the place where the prophet Abraham was miraculously saved from a fire. According to legend, King Nimrod, a tyrannical king who ruled the area around Şanlıurfa, who calls himself a god and forces his people to worship the statues erected in the temples, grew angry at Prophet Abraham for opposing idolatry and smashing all the idols in the temple with an axe. He ordered Abraham to be burned alive. However, when Prophet Abraham was thrown into the flames, a miracle occurred. The fire turned into water and the burning woods became fish. This is why the pool is filled with sacred fish, which are considered by locals to be holy and are never caught or eaten. Anyone who visits will notice black spots on the backs of the fish. According to legend, these spots are the traces of the gigantic fire from which they emerged.
Merhaba, kolay gelsin. Bu yemek ne kadar?
Bundan 30 ve 50.
50, 30 lira. Tamam. Also, something really nice that you can do here is that you can buy some food for the fish, and this one cost me 30 liras. Actually, there were 4 of this, but I am sharing with our guides as well, so they can throw them. So this is something really nice that you can also do. Look, they are coming. Ah! As you can see, they are all gathering here, trying to grab some food. So this is something nice that you can do for the fish as well. Look how cute they are.
According to legend, the prophet Abraham was born in a cave in Urfa and stayed there for several years to hide from King Nimrod. The king's astrologers told him that a baby would be born who could one day challenge the king's power. To stop this from happening, he ordered all newborn boys to be killed, from the richest families in his palace to the poorest homes. The birthplace of Prophet Abraham in Urfa is a renowned pilgrimage site where visitors come to pray and honor one of history's most esteemed prophets. There is a prayer area within the cave and faucets where pilgrims cleanse their hands with sacred water. This is the Türkiye's largest museum complex and one of the country's richest in terms of artifacts. It also houses the world's largest Neolithic collection. The museum showcases a diverse range of artifacts from various periods and cultures, including finds from the Paleolithic era and discoveries from Göbekli Tepe, the world's oldest temple. Visitors can also see artifacts from the Chalcolithic, Bronze, Iron, Hellenistic, Roman, Byzantine, and Islamic periods. Some of the most fascinating artifacts that we can see here are the following. Over 11,500 years old, the Balıklıgöl man, also called Urfa man, was carved from a single block of limestone around 9,500 BC. It's not just the oldest statue in Asia, it's also the first known life-size human sculpture in the world. Standing 1.80 meters tall, Urfa man has black obsidian eyes and a simple yet striking human face. It was found in the vicinity of Şanlıurfa Castle in the city center. No one really knows who he was or why he was made, but seeing him at the Şanlıurfa Museum is an incredible experience. The details carved into his face and body make you wonder about the people who carefully shaped him thousands of years ago. Among the astounding finds at Göbekli Tepe is a life-sized wild boar statue made of limestone dating back to 11,000 years ago. What makes this discovery even more remarkable is that it is the first painted sculpture found from its period to the present day. After exploring the main complex of the Şanlıurfa Museum, we highly recommend checking out this section, where you can admire stunning Roman-era mosaics that are 3,000 years old. It is famous for its magnificent hunting scene mosaics depicting Amazon women, whose names are often mentioned in mythology, as well as the Orpheus mosaic and the Life of Achilles mosaic. After visiting all those places, we got hungry and came to this place to try the famous Urfa kebab.
Just as in Gaziantep, Hatay, also Urfa is a very important province when it comes to food. So also here we will be able to try many of those dishes that it will be a little bit difficult to try them in some other provinces outside of Urfa. So this time we are going to be showing you a special dish like, for example, liver. And also many of you already know about this, it's the Urfa kebab. Who hasn't heard about that one? So this is where it comes from, and we are going to be showing you how it tastes and everything. And also I want to show you all the extra things they just brought to our table. This is not with extra price or anything, this is already included. And as you can see, we have very colorful and very fresh salad. We have also a very delicious sauce. And also we have a special soup, which it kind of seems like yayla çorbası, but this one is cold version. So something very interesting about Şanlıurfa is that because in this region during summer season, it gets really cold. It can reach 40-45 degrees. So of course they want refreshing foods. So for example, in the salad, what they do as well is they put ice in it, so it will be much more refreshing. We have just received our food, and as you can see here, I ordered one plate with half Urfa kebab and other half ciğer or liver. And this is exactly how I love the liver. It's super crispy, it's super good. So look at it. So what I will do is I will put it in the sauce to give it more flavor. Now I will show you how we can do this. So we grab a little bit of lavash or tortilla, And then if you want, you can grab a little piece of urfa kebab, then put a little bit of sauce with onion, and then afiyet olsun. Now it's time to show you a very special dessert, and that you practically won't be able to find it in many places around Turkey, but in this province, Şanlıurfa. So basically this is a dessert that is called shuluk, and basically the word in the past it used to be called as shileki, which comes from Kurdish, but in the early 1990s it was like the word was confused and changed by some columnists, so up till nowadays it just stayed as shuluk. And this dessert consists of kaymak, which is wrapped in a crepe-like pastry, and then it's also topped up with some pistachio. And for the syrup, it was made with molasses syrup, or also known in Turkish as pekmez, and with butter. So let's try it. This is the very first time I'm gonna try this dessert. I have never heard of it until now that we are here in Şanlıurfa. So let's see. I'm very happy because it has kaymak, which I love kaymak, by the way. So let's see. So we are starting our second day in Şanlıurfa, and of course we cannot start the day before having a good breakfast. So we are having a beautiful breakfast here at the hotel, and I found very interesting flavors here as well, which I haven't seen in any of the other provinces that we have previously visited here in the country, and is that they put grilled pepper and tomatoes. So I'm really excited to try those ones, and also the 3 different types of eggs, which are also very unique flavors from the region. So I'm excited to try all of this. And look, as I mentioned, this is the special egg with this with pepper jelly or something like that. So I'm very excited to try this one because this sounds very interesting, but just a little bit of it. So let's start. It's really good, actually. You can put a little bit of like sour flavor, but in a really good way, and the pepper is not spicy at all. So the pepper basically just to give that little extra flavor to the egg, and I just love that. It's really nice. I wanted to show you something very quick, and it is that when we are driving to our next destination, we saw something very interesting here. And because in case that you don't know, Turkey is one of the main producers of pistachio around the world. So the best pistachio you will find in the country will be precisely in Gaziantep, Şanlıurfa. So I wanted to show you where it comes from. So here you can see all the trees where the pistachio is harvested, and here we have so many fields filled with these trees. Halfeti is located 116 kilometers from the city center of Şanlıurfa, and also is close to Gaziantep. Gaziantep is only 105 kilometers away from Halfeti. This is a great destination if you are visiting Gaziantep and Şanlıurfa, and it will make a perfect day trip from any of these 2 provinces. Halfeti is an extraordinary place in Turkey to visit, because let's remember that this place has a lot of history with more than 3,000 years old. Halfeti in the past was called by many different names, since this area was once inhabited by many other civilizations like Assyrians, Hittites, Persians, Macedonians, and many others. It was an important location in southeastern Anatolia during the Roman Empire era, and after the Roman Empire, it came under the Byzantine rule, and it was also known as Rumkale, and remained outside the territory of Muslim states. After the reign of the Armenians during the Crusades, Rumkale or Halfeti came under the rule of the Mamluks, and finally during the reign of Yavuz Sultan Selim, the Ottomans. The city, which lost its strategic importance after this time, is one of the important places in Turkey that has a very important historical heritage to our day.
Now, what's the importance of the Euphrates River? The ancient Mesopotamia, a region that includes all modern-day Iraq as well as parts of Syria, Türkiye, and Iran, was located between the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers. Mesopotamia's name comes from a Greek term meaning the land between the rivers and was one of the cradles of civilization. Many civilizations have thrived along the banks of the Euphrates, and one of the ancient world's most important cities, Babylon, was built along this river. The Euphrates was part of the Silk Road, a trade route which passed through Central Asia and Mesopotamia. Aleppo was a key stop along the famous trade route.
In Halfeti at the moment, there are two parts of it, the new Halfeti and the old Halfeti. At the moment, we are going to explore the old Halfeti, and this is basically formed by the old farmhouses, the mosques, and other places that in the early 2000s were submerged underwater after the Birecik Dam was built. After the dam was built, all the residents of the old Halfeti were told that they have to move away to another part, which nowadays is the new Halfeti. New Halfeti is about 15 kilometers away from these parts. And of course, one of the best ways to explore this area is by boat. You can either take the public ones or the private ones. In our case, we have taken the private one because it is much more comfortable for us in order to record and to show you everything. But if you don't want to spend that much money, also you can take the private ones. Imagine it this way. It is like if you are taking the Bosphorus tour in Istanbul in the public ferries. We have just arrived to probably one of the most important places that you can see during this tour, and now we are going to give you a little introduction of why exactly this place is as it is right now. So for that, we will have our friend and guide Bilge, who will be explaining to you.
So we are in ancient village Halfeti, which is a sunken village, which is abandoned. In history, around 800-900 people used to live here. But now we are in Euphrates River, as you can see, beautiful waters of Euphrates River. And we are between two dams, Birecik and Atatürk Dam. So the water was rising up. This is how the village was underground. Here you can see the minaret of the mosque, so it's just the minaret. So imagine all the mosque building is underground. So you can imagine how much the city was sunken. So the water was rise, so they had to abandon the village. So today there is another Halfeti, which is new Halfeti, which is 10 kilometers away from here. So people, they have to abandon the village because of the water, and then now they are mainly living in new Halfeti.
Also, this town of Halfeti has a very special characteristic, and that is that here we have the black roses. But for that, I will have also Bilge to explain to us if they are real or not, because maybe some of you have seen online that there are black roses here in Türkiye. But let's learn a little bit more about it.
So Halfeti is the only place in the world where they grow naturally black roses. Well, now we are not in the season, so unfortunately we cannot see black roses, but they sell many products of black roses around in this town. But this place is very special, and in the world you can only see black roses here in Halfeti.
Are they fully black or more
It's more like very dark red, but it almost looks like black, especially with the sun and the heat of the area. They grow like very dark red, but then they turn into black, especially when they dry. So it's real that they are really black roses.
And what is the reason why in this area the black roses grow?
Well, when we talk with locals here, they say that like from their childhood, because of the earth, because of the sun, because the sun gets really strong here in summertime, yes, which converts that dark red into black. And also they say that our land is very special, that's why it grows only here in Halfeti. So it's basically the nature of the area,
They
nature
are
of the village.
blessed in a way to have that
yes.
unique flower.
Yes, they are actually.
All right, so you already know that if you want to see the black roses here in Turkey, you have to come to Halfeti, but it's only during a certain season. It's not all year round. So you can only come either during spring or during fall or autumn.
Now we're heading to our next stop, Göbekli Tepe, the oldest known temple in human history ever discovered. This ancient site is almost 12,000 years old and still full of mystery. The entrance fee is 20 euros, and after passing through the ticket area, you can check out a small exhibition hall where you can see a quick introduction of the site. Then you hop on a shuttle that takes you up to the main site. It's a very short ride, and along the way, the landscape already gives you a sense of just how ancient and unique this place is. Göbekli Tepe's story didn't begin with a grand excavation or a big research team. It started quietly, almost by accident. Back in 1983, a local farmer was simply plowing his field just outside Şanlıurfa when his tool struck something unusual, a carved stone. He did what anyone would, he brought it to the local museum, but sadly, the stone was stored away and forgotten, left to gather dust in a depot. Years later, in 1995, the German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt was in the region doing a different research. While visiting the Şanlıurfa Museum, he noticed those same mysterious stones, and something about them caught his eye. He started asking questions, but no one could tell him much, so he followed his trail himself. Through his own efforts, Schmidt tracked down the local farmer who found a carved stone, found the field, and began the first real excavations at Göbekli Tepe. What he uncovered will change everything we thought we knew about human history. Massive T-shaped pillars arranged in circles, carved with animals, symbols, and shapes that spoke of a forgotten world. For a long time, it was believed religion came after people settled down, but Göbekli Tepe, built by hunter-gatherers around 12,000 years ago, turned that idea upside down. It shows us that belief might have come first, even before farming. Today, Göbekli Tepe is known as the ground zero of history, and since 2018, it's been a proud part of UNESCO's World Heritage List. And it all began with a farmer, a forgotten stone, and a curious mind who refused to give up.
And I would like to welcome our friend and guide, Bilge. In case that you haven't seen our video about Ephesus, I would like to invite you to go watch that video, because also she was our guide there, and she was showing us everything and telling us all the important things about that archaeological site. So today we are here in Göbekli Tepe, another very important site in Türkiye, and today she will explain to each one of you why this place is so important and why it also changed history.
So, welcome to Göbekli Tepe. We are in Göbekli Tepe now. The place, the 0 point of history, actually, which changed history. This place is older than Stone Age. This place is older than pyramids. What is here? This is actually a complex of temples. So you can see there are round-shaped temples. You can see some animal depicted on T-shaped stones. So this place was dedicated a religion or god or goddess that we don't know so far, because there were no inscriptions, so there is nothing written here. Excavation started here in 1994 by Klaus Schmidt, a German archaeologist, and he discovered that this was a temple that nomadic, gathered, hunted people. They were visiting here certain time of a year for religious rituals. So they were dedicating animals, sacrificing animals here for a religion that we don't know today, and there were no settlement discovered around here. So this is interesting, because what we were believing so far before the discovery of Göbekli Tepe, people first discovered agriculture, and then they started to settle, they founded villages, and then religions started. But here, before agriculture, before settlements, there was a religion. There was something in common, gathering different nomadic groups here, and they were doing rituals. They used this place around 1,500 years, and then surprisingly, they just filled it up and then abandoned this area. So this is really interesting, a very interesting place.
One of the most well-known historical places in Şanlıurfa is the 250-year-old cone-shaped houses in Harran, about 50 minutes away from the city center. Each dome is a separate room, and the more domes a house has, the richer the family used to be. These houses are built to stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. They are made from rose leaves, straw, soil, and egg whites, and their shape gets narrower towards the top, reaching about 5 meters high. The outside is covered with wet clay, which has helped keep them in good condition for centuries. From time to time, they are repaired to prevent damage. The domes have open tops, allowing sunlight and fresh air inside while letting smoke escape. People no longer live in these houses, but they are protected for tourists to visit. When you arrive, friendly locals will be happy to show you around and share their history.
This is the house, my grandfather house. My grandfather, 14th century AD, he came to Iraq in Fallujah. He taken in castle and university brickstone, and after that he built in this house. This is the house, summertime cool, wintertime hot. Every one room they build in 1,500 brickstone. So now in Haram, people, nobody living this house. This is the guest room, traditional room, and this room, my grandfather room. When he's alone, he's staying in here. When people they come, he came to the guest room. And this is the room, kitchen room. People, they make in here breads. And also in Haran, famous meal, couscous meal. You know, in Haran people, they like the couscous meal, they like it. And also when they came to one house for guests, you know, in Haran people, they cut the sheep and goat and they make it in here meat.
After you finish touring the houses, you can also wear some traditional clothing they have for visitors and take some nice photos. When wearing the clothes, it's recommended to tip the family. After exploring these incredible places, we came back to our hotel for something special, a Sıra Gecesi. Şanlıurfa is rich not only in history and culture, but also in music. This traditional gathering means Night of the Road because originally, friends and family will take turns hosting it each week. It's all about community, music, and food. Picture people singing Türkiye or traditional folk songs, playing the bağlama, dancing, singing, and sharing local dishes, especially freshly prepared çiğ köfte. Over time, Sıra Gecesi has become more than just a local tradition. It's a cultural experience that visitors can also enjoy. It's a kind of night that stays with you. And as an interesting fact, Şanlıurfa folk music with its rich melodies, abundant lyrics, numerous works, and high-quality systematic performance was designated as a City of Music by UNESCO in 2023. We are driving from Şanlıurfa to Mardin, which takes approximately 3 hours. However, if you prefer to fly from Istanbul, that is also an option. There are direct flights from both airports in Istanbul to Mardin Airport, which is located 20 kilometers from the city center, and you can find buses, shuttles, cabs to go to the city center. If you look for a more comfortable option, you can either rent a car or call for an airport transfer. With its history, architecture, archaeological, and visual values, Mardin is the most wondrous city of southeastern Türkiye. This poetic city is a living exhibition site in which it is possible to see how human labor shaped stone. Mardin and its surroundings mark a crossroads of religions and ethnic groups, rooted in the very cradle of human civilization. Mardin is also one of the most important regions of Mesopotamia, which throughout history was known as the Fertile Crescent. Due to its geographical situation, this region throughout history was a center of many societies, ethnic groups, religions, and sects. Mardin has embraced many religions, cultures, and civilizations while preserving its authentic character throughout history. The entire city is essentially an open-air museum, and every corner of this city is packed with history and culture. Winters are wet and chilly, while summers are quite hot. Therefore, the spring and autumn months are the best to visit this place. Known as the Eagle's Nest, Mardin Castle is touched by the history itself. Its construction date goes back to the 10th century. Located in the city center, the castle offers a panoramic view of the Mesopotamian plain and the city. Although it is closed for visitors, the site of the castle is worth seeing. The iconic houses of the shining city of Southeast Anatolia capture and fascinate you every second. The traditional houses of Mardin prove that the urban texture of a city can be amazing. The yellow and stone houses of Mardin are not only home to locals, but also host the history itself. The old part of Mardin is an exceptional city. You can find culture and history literally in every single corner. As well as you can see, most of the buildings here are all painted in the same color, which is light brown limestone. So pretty much of the city looks very even. One of the city's most iconic landmarks is the stunning Mardin Grand Mosque, known for its unique sliced dome and the tall minaret that dominates the skyline. Built during the Artukid period, this mosque originally had 2 minarets, but today only one stands, carrying an inscription that dates back to 1176. Over the centuries, the mosque has seen several renovations, but it still holds onto its historic charm. Interestingly, some Assyrian historians believe it may have originally been a church, which adds a fascinating layer to its story and hints at the city's deep religious and cultural roots. The Mardin Museum is situated in the Old Town Square. Stone and ceramic artifacts of Mesopotamian civilizations dating from the Assyrian, Byzantine, Artukid, and Ottoman periods are displayed here. Just below the castle lies the Zinciriye Madrasa, also known as the Sultanisa Madrasa, which was erected in the 14th century. The complex includes a courtyard, a mosque, and a tomb, and it is considered one of the most beautiful historical landmarks in the old part of Mardin. It is also known that in 1401, when Timur invaded Mardin, he imprisoned the last Artukid ruler, Sultan Isa, in this very place for a time. A sacred landmark for the Assyrian Christian community, the Church of the Forties is one of Mardin's most treasured historical and religious sites. Built in the 6th century, this beautifully preserved church is a stunning example of early Christian architecture, offering visitors a glimpse into the region's deep spiritual roots. Located in the Shar neighborhood of Mardin's old city, an area still home to a vibrant Christian population, the church is also known as Mor Behnam, named in honor of the Syriac saint Behnam and his sister Saro. The name Church of the Forties comes from a significant event in its history. In 1170, the relics of 40 martyrs were brought here, giving the church its local name, Kırklar Kilisesi. Whether you're drawn by faith, history, or architecture, the Church of the Forties offers a powerful and moving experience in the heart of Mardin's ancient cityscape. Now let's show you a little bit of the rich gastronomy that Mardin offers. And we are here at a restaurant just in the old town of Mardin. It has beautiful views. And here we are ordering one specialty of Mardin, which also we can find that in other provinces like Diyarbakir, but it's also famous here in Mardin. And this is kaburga dolması, which basically consists of stuffed lamb ribs, and some of the ingredients are rice, currant, spices, tomato paste, pine nuts, salt, and many others. We also order a plate with 7 different local appetizers, also known in Turkish as mezeleş. Just something little to keep in mind is that kaburga dolması takes around 45 to 50 minutes to cook. So be patient, and I assure you that the waiting will be totally worth it. Now while we are waiting for our main dish, we just received on our table the beautiful selection of local appetizers. To be honest, for me it's a little bit difficult to remember each one of these names, but I will try to describe the ingredients that so far we have found in each one of them. First of all, I will start with the hummus, which this one we all of us know it. It is made from chickpeas, and also we have found one that it's called on the menu as yogurt Mardin. This one, of course, the main ingredient is yogurt, and then also some others with tomato paste, pepper paste, eggplant, walnuts. And even if you don't consume meat, you can, if you're vegan or vegetarian, especially vegetarian, you will not find it difficult, because even you can enjoy a beautiful platter like this. After almost 1 hour, we have finally got our stuffed ribs, and I cannot tell you how good it smells. As you can see from the images here, they just made like a little show here, and also they removed the bones and they put more of the meat broth here. So I'm pretty sure the flavor is so good. Let me just tell you. Look, I mean, the meat is super juicy. It's really nice. So let's see how it is. I don't want to get burned. It's cooked perfectly, just perfectly. In fact, in Mexico we had something that it's called like barbacoa. It kind of tastes like that. It kind of reminds me to that flavor. And also, if you're wondering why we are in a different place from where we started showing you the other appetizers, it is because right now it is winter here. It is the beginning of December, so surprisingly during the day, like, the weather is really nice. It's very comfortable to be outside, but as soon as the sun goes down, then it gets really cold. So in my case, I wasn't able to feel my hands, so we came indoors, and this is where we are going to have our last meal. And after exploring a little bit of the old town here in Mardin, we wanted also to show you some local specialties of the city. We came to one cafe which is very popular here among locals and tourists alike, and we have ordered 3 different desserts that are very local from the area, and basically you will not be able to found them very easily outside of Mardin. So this is the first one, and this one consists of a dessert made with grapes, and those grapes are locally produced here in Mardin, and walnuts as well. The second one is called as wedding dessert, and this one is mainly made with saffron and walnut. And the third one is also another dessert, but this one is not with saffron. This one is with turmeric, kaymak, which is a special cream in Turkey, and milk. And as well, we have ordered something very interesting, and this is called sherbet. These ones are very popular in Turkey, and they are made with different type of fruits, flowers, even roses. But specifically this one is made with many plants, herbs, spices, like for example cinnamon, dried basil, lemon, and many others. So this one, I think it will be very good, especially right now that I'm feeling very bad from my throat because of the weather. So I'm hoping this one will make me feel a little bit better. Now let's try this one, and I think I didn't tell you this one, but this one has 0 sugar. This is sugar-free, and this is really good. In fact, I believe it doesn't need any sugar, any extra flavor, because it already has plenty of flavor on its own. So this one, I really love it. Let's try the first one. Smells really good. Wow. This is something that I have never tried in my life, and I really liked it. Now here is the second one. This is the one made with turmeric. Me gusta. And now we're going with the third one, which is made with saffron and walnuts. Oh, this one is so good. After finishing each one of them, I would love to give you my verdict. To be honest, I thought that the one that I was gonna like the most was the one having kaymak, because in my case, everything that has kaymak, that one is automatically my favorite. But surprisingly, my favorite was the one made with grape. That one was really, really good. Now it's time to show you another specialty, and this one is called harire kahvesi. But this one has more like a milky texture, and I will say that it kind of tastes a little bit similar to menengiç coffee, which is very popular around the region as well. This one, it is very, very soft to drink, so even if you like coffee but you don't like very strong flavors, I would suggest to try this one. This is one of the most significant centers of the Assyrian Church besides its magnificent architecture. It is situated about 5 kilometers from the old part of Mardin. The monastery, which consists of 3 floors, reached its present form in the 18th century, with the additions made at different times starting from the 5th century. According to chronicles, the monastery was founded in the 5th century AD, when the first church was built here. The monastery was built on a complex which had been used as a sun temple, dating back to 4,000 years when the inhabitants of this area were pagans. When Romans left the region, the bones of some saints were brought here. Then, this castle was converted into a monastery. For this reason, this monastery was first known as Mor Shleimun Monastery. After the 15th century, it has been called as Deirul Safaran, which means saffron monastery, because of saffron plants growing around the monastery. If you're wondering how we are able to explore some of the places that are a little bit far away from Mardin city center, in our case we are on a private tour. We just got a local guide here through Reminder Tour as well, and that is how we are easily able to explore this area. Also, you can hire
You can join a tour, you can join a group tour private, or also even you can hire a car. Just if you hire a car, be very careful with it, because here the navigation is not very accurate, and we found that in the hard way, so just be a little bit careful with that. But other than that, you can easily explore this area as well.
The ancient city of Dara is approximately 30 kilometers from Mardin center and about 6 kilometers from the Syrian border. According to medieval historians, Dara was a military garrison established by the Persian king Darius III and named after him. Dara is also known as the Ephesus of Mesopotamia. Today, only 10% of the ancient city is on the surface and 90% is still underground. Still, remains of castles, bridges, water channels, water cisterns, churches, arastas, palaces, bazaars, dungeons, armory, rock tombs, and civil settlements can be seen. One of the most impressive building groups of Dara is the rock-cut tomb groups, carved directly on bedrock. Hidden beneath the ancient city of Dara lies a marvel of Byzantine engineering. This massive cistern plunges 15 meters underground. That's 6 meters deeper than Istanbul's iconic Basilica cistern. Holding an astonishing 10,000 cubic meters of water, it once covered the thirst of 40,000 people, an underground lifeline for an entire city.
Another very interesting place that we really wanted to show you is that at the moment we are the closest point from Türkiye and Syria. Basically just behind me, it's where we can see the border of Syria. But in the past, this used to be one of the most important trade routes, precisely the Silk Road. And in the past, this used to be one of the most important points of it. We have just arrived in a very special place here in Türkiye, and this one, it's basically, they know it also as the pizza village. Now, you might be asking yourself, why a pizza village in this region, almost in the middle of nowhere? Because basically it's around 1 hour away from Mardin city center, but we will be telling you the story in a little bit. Now you will be wondering why in this village specifically they are making pizzas, and this is not the only pizzeria that you can find around here. You can find also plenty of other pizzerias in this village, and the main reason is because many of the locals, the Assyrians, this is an Assyrian village, when maybe like 20 years ago, the situation in this area was bad. So many of them, because it was very unsafe to live here, they had to move somewhere else. And many of them chose to move to Europe. Some of them were living in Italy, in Switzerland, in Germany. But later on, when the situation in this area got much better and safer for them, many of them came back to their lands. So since they learned while living in Europe, they learned how to make pizza. They also started doing it here, and now this village is also known as the Pizza Village. So it feels very interesting because we are in another part of Turkey where you wouldn't believe that there is a pizza village. But this is so interesting, this is so unique, so we are trying one. I already had a taste of one slice of one of the pizzas that we ordered, and let me tell you that the flavor is really good. I'm not an expert at pizzas, but at least the flavor is really good. As well, something that I really enjoyed here is that it's not very thick, because in my personal opinion, I don't like super thick pizzas. The slices here are very, very thin, so that way I can taste all the ingredients much better. As well, you can find some pizzas made with the local ingredients like chicken doner and some others, but as well you can find them the authentic flavors like margarita, Napolitan one, and fungi, and those other flavors as well.
An hour's drive from Mardin is the charming and rustic old city of Midyat. Syriac Orthodox churches exist within the old city, but the highlight is the old culture house, often setting for Turkish film sets. This place also offers a great opportunity to explore ancient Kurdish and Syriac heritage. If your travel plans involve the southeast of Turkey, you should definitely put both of these towns on your list.
And right now we are at one of the locations of one Turkish series. Probably some of you have heard of it, and that TV series is called, or soap opera is called Hercai. Let me know in comments below if any of you have watched it before. So this is basically one Assyriac mansion, but now at the moment it is owned by the government and it is open to visitors as a museum. So I highly recommend that if you are visiting Mardin, you should absolutely come to Midyat and take a look into this beautiful mansion as well. Just as Mardin, also Midyat, it's an open-air museum. Here, especially the highlight, I will say it will be like the traditional houses that all of them have the same color, and they are from the Assyrian community as well.
Southeast Turkey completely surprised me. The food, the history, the warmth of the people, it's truly unforgettable. If this video helped you discover Urfa, Mardin, or Gaziantep, give it a like and let me know in the comments which city you will visit first. Don't forget to subscribe for more hidden gems in Turkey, and I'll see you in the next adventure. Bye bye!